thing about life is people gonna talk about you regardless of what you're doing. So stay focused, stay on your grind, and pay them the mind.
Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to my podcast. My name is Evangel, and this is One Thing About Life. This is going to be the first of a mini-series where I'm going to be talking about SaaS Marketing Metrics, which is Software as a Service Marketing Metrics, for people to know what is important and what you should look out for in the SaaS marketing field, and as a SaaS business, what you need to look out for and pay attention to. So this first episode, I'm going to be talking about churn and retention rates. Churn rate and retention rates. Let's dive right into it. Talking about churn rates, I'm going to talk about churn rate and retention here. Basically, you can't talk about one and talk about the other. And how many customers are you able to retain on your platform? How many customers are leaving your platform? And what is the reason why they are leaving? Because remember what we talked about, onboarding customers and your cost of acquisition of new customers, right? You also want to pay attention to your customers leaving, right? How many so for instance, let's track it back and say, okay, you spent X amount to onboard X amount of clients, right, or new customers. That would be your acquisition cost. Then we now say that, okay, we were able to, from the period of January to December, we were able to onboard 500,000 new customers, the platform or users on the platform, right? So out of those 500 customers we onboarded in January in the year of 2020, for instance, how many of those customers have remained with us on the platform from January up to December, then also going into the new year? I'm just trying to use that as an example to just try to buttress my point here. So things you need to keep your eye on is the churn rates, your retention rates. How many customers are leaving? And when they are leaving, it's important to always get feedback when they leave, so you know what you are doing right and what you're not doing right, and who you are losing your customers to, who is the competition you're losing your customers to. So for instance, right, if a client is leaving your platform because of you are too expensive, they have found a cheaper alternative to what you are offering, you need to track that. You need to track the number of customers that are leaving. So if you see that, okay, you onboarded 50,000 new customers, and after about 2 months, more than half, or let's just say half, 25,000, have left because of an alternative that is cheaper, then you need to start looking into that and saying, okay, and of course, in this space, you need to constantly know what the competition is doing in terms of their product. I'm not talking about marketing, right? Because I have the opinion that marketing strategy for company A might not necessarily work for company B. So what you always want to do is see what products, you need to always do your product analysis of your competitors, right? Have your metrics, your value metrics, your product metrics, competitor value metrics, competitor product metrics, whatever you want to call it, and make sure that you know who and know your space in the industry. As an industry leader, you're an industry leader. You know you are the leader, right? The reason why you're the leader, you got into the market first. You have a good brand, you have X number of users, you have integrations, you have partners, you have all these things, so it makes you a leader. If you're a challenger in that space, you need to know who are the top 10 products that are your competitors in the space, top 20, top 15, right? Top 5. You need to know who those things are and keep up and monitor the updates they keep on making to their products, because you need to know. And of course, you're not going to be a reactionary kind of business or take an approach that you are reacting to what the competition is doing. You're going to also have your R&D department that is firing and banging and making sure they are coming up with new updates, new updates and new versions of the product. You are doing your R&D, you are keeping in touch with your customers, you are getting feedback and doing all these things and making sure that be the first to come out with new updates and new products, right? I was having a discussion with a friend of mine today, and something that stood out, that the strategy they are adopting in his company, he leads the business development in his company, and what they do is partner scale. Partnership is very important in the SaaS industry, right? Partner and scale. Partner and scale. That you have the expertise and capabilities to build a product doesn't necessarily mean you need to build that product. If somebody else has already built the product, partner with them, scale your business, right? Partnership is key. You cannot always try to be building a product all the time. Partner and scale. So shout out to Elder, right? If he's hearing this, he just got featured on my podcast. So partner and scale. Partner and scale. It's very important. So I think that covers much about churn rates and churn and retention rates, because it's really important and it's something that you should always keep an eye on as a SaaS marketer, as a SaaS business. You need to know it, because if you are not onboarding, if you have more customers leaving you, if you have more customers leaving than you're onboarding, you're going to run into trouble very soon, right? So you need to make sure that you keep an eye on that and know the reason why and keep in touch. Part of the mistakes we marketers usually make is we fail to always keep in touch with the market. Sometimes we just assume that we know. Again, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm passionate about data-driven marketing, right? You cannot make a decision in marketing off of a hunch, right? That you have hundreds of experience in marketing doesn't necessarily mean that your strategy is the best approach if you're not working with data. You need to be data-driven and know exactly what's going on. So it's evident, right? It's really evident, and I think I've covered that a lot. So churn rate and retention rate is very important. So you need to know that you have your eyes on it. Make sure you are looking at it and monitoring it, because if you lose all your customers, you're left with a product that nobody wants to use. So yeah, looking at that. So thank you all for listening to my episode today. So I'm just going to be dropping little chunks like this. I didn't want to just record one straight thing. Record little chunks about SaaS marketing and things to look out for and things to monitor in your SaaS business. So thank you all for listening. My name is Evangel, and this is One Thing About Life. So till next time, stay frosty.
You know one thing about life is people gon' talk about you regardless of what you're doing. So stay focused, stay on your grind, and pay them the mind.